Hello everybody, welcome back. I decided to buy some courses and it cost me about £180 in total. According to user Andrew Slough, he actually went into my Chessable account and saw which courses I'd bought. Apparently I didn't have my settings set to private, so anybody could see what I've been studying. I don't really care because I understand if you maybe played a tournament and it sees that you've been studying this particular opening, or you could bluff them, of course. You could bluff them by buying, spending money on an opening that you're not going to play, or you just like the course. So anyway, I got lots of replies on my social media, and one of the replies said, buy the TOF course. So I decided to buy this Andres TOF course. The guy seems like a good presenter, seems like a nice guy. From what I only saw a little bit last night. What I'll try and do is look at all these courses, review them, and whether I've got the time or dedication to do that, we'll have to see. But that will be the plan. The only one I got the video for, by the way, is the TOF one, because some of the other ones were very expensive, like the Kramnik one. The video was like, I know it says video enabled, but the Kramnik one is maybe I don't have the video for on the entire video, right? Because I think the video is like 174. The same with the Yusupov one. Sorry, let me go back. So the Yusupov one is a recent addition. I believe he filmed this actually in the Chessable studios, because when I was filming my own one, my own video, I was filming at home. I don't get an invite to Chessable studios, unlike Yusupov, unfortunately. But they mentioned, one of the people who was helping me with the course, they mentioned that Yusupov was in the studios to film this course. So obviously they filmed the course and they released them fairly quickly. But Yusupov is a famous chess author and player. I mean, he was a serious player back in the late 1980s, or anywhere through the 1980s. The same sort of age as Kasparov, I believe. Same sort of era. Actually a little bit older than Kasparov. Kasparov was born 63, so Yusupov is 60. He's now 65 years of age. So when would he have been born? Something like 1960. Yeah, 1960. So he's only about 3 years older than Kasparov. Wow, Kasparov's 62 now. It's hard to believe, isn't it? Doesn't life go quickly, right? However, yeah, he was a serious player, and obviously he was a serious professional back in the 1980s. It was a famous candidates match he played against Ivanchuk. Went down to the rapid play. He won the rapid play. This got a big coverage in one of the Dvoretsky books. So he's a serious chess author, chess writer, and player. I think there was also a famous story about him getting beaten up outside his apartment in Moscow when he was younger. It's probably about over 20 years ago, right? Anyway, so that course I've got. I've also got, so those are the 4 courses. So I'm going to have a look at them, review them at some point. I'm going to review each one in turn, and then say what I think about the courses. Andrew Slough. So there were lots of courses that people mentioned. Andrew Slough mentioned that I should get the Kamil Plitcher E4 E5 course, but I don't really play E5, so that was one of the reasons I didn't really want to get that course. Obviously, if I do get an openings course, I'll probably have to change the settings so it's to private, so people don't see that I'm been studying this. But I don't really play E5 as black that often. I do play the Petrov occasionally, got good results. I never lost to the Petrov, weirdly. But I don't think I've ever lost to the Petrov, which is a weird statistic. I haven't played it that often, but got a fairly solid record with it. You either win or draw with it. Anyway, Kamil Plitcher, I would imagine it must be another good presenter, because they're saying Toff's a good presenter. He looks like a good presenter. He seems like a good presenter. So I would imagine that, you know, Plitcher's also a good presenter. You know, people don't say these things for nothing. So those are my Chessable courses that I brought. I must admit, I've spent too much on the card recently, and you know, the danger is that you end up buying too much. You know, you just, there's Jovanka Huska course there, there's Judith Polgar, there's Fiona's course there. The Fierce Nimzo Indians sounds really interesting by Mikey Keatman's another person I played. Played all these people. I haven't played Judith. I played Jovanka, I played Fiona, but in the Blitz tournament. I don't think we ever played her in a classical. We drew, I think, in a Blitz tournament, the Isle of Man once. It was before a poker tournament. Starting out the Scotch, also by Fiona, with her boyfriend, Alex Astonay from Ireland. Starting out by Anya Madja. So there's all these courses. Where's my course? My course should be up here. If this is all courses, it's already been booted off. Oh, there it is, Vanquish. See, there's no review for it, which doesn't help. There's like zero review. This is what I was saying about. There's no reviews. Doesn't look good. People reviewed these courses already. They've only just been released as well. My course hasn't been reviewed. So that's disappointing. Why no one's left a review for it. It will help, you know. I think it will help to sell the course. But yeah, that's the danger with Chessable. I think is that you just become addicted and you just end up buying more and more stuff, you know. And then what I've from some of the comments, obviously that's not a danger for Chessable themselves. They love that, right? Because you're going to make loads of money, but. What I've been reading from some of the comments on some of the forums, people will buy courses and they'll just have courses lined up and they'll never read them because they'll just buy them. They just, the whole process of buying a course is more exciting than actually, you know, getting down and reading them. But that's partly why I think it's worthwhile buying the video, because if you buy the video, you kind of feel like obliged, especially when you're spending that much to buy the video. To watch the video, right? And I'm quite interested to see what Kramnik says about this position. You know, having just the informational on the Kramnik course is a bit disappointing. So that was partly the reason why I did the Kramnik and Yusupov course. Now Yusupov, he might not be a better player than me these days, but back in the day he certainly was. Probably higher rated than me these days, let's be honest. Like pretty much everybody is these days, but still plays now. I think he's still an active player, but maybe not in more classical tournaments, maybe more rapid play blitz. But he was a proper player. He's a proper teacher. You know, Kramnik as well is a clearly stronger player. So yeah, it's like, what do you buy when you're a GM, right? So you're already a good player, in theory. I like to think I'm already a half a decent player. What are you going to buy? You know, you're not necessarily going to be that interested. No disrespect to maybe some of the lower rated players, but maybe you're not that interested in what they have to say, you know, or as much interest. Although that there is an argument that it doesn't really matter what level you're at. You know, you can learn, I can get something from someone else's personality point of view, right? It's like when I do coaching. The coaching I often find, even with lower rated players, much lower rated players, I often find it useful because it's, you know, you're discussing chess with somebody else. It's a little bit like that when you buy a course. Ellen Frederica from Norway, I believe. Ellen's Essentials. That looks like an interesting course. Queens of the Board. So those are the courses I brought anyway. Yeah, one thing I would mention is that because I've just bought, like what I will probably do, I probably won't bother with the move trainer because I'm too lazy to learn stuff by rote. You know, I don't really care whether I've learned it like by part. I'll be honest. I know that sounds a bit negative, but I'm just too lazy to sit there with a move trainer a lot of the time. So what I'll probably do, especially as it's not an openings course, I'll probably just look at the informational. But then you're spending like 35, 40 quid on an informational. So you're better off, I think from my perspective going forward, I'm better off just buying chess books. Because you've got a physical copy, you want to read it, you just sit there, you know, on the sofa or whatever, on the chair, reading it, you know, on the train, you just, you know, you open it up, you read it, it's probably easier than, you know, you having to open up the laptop, you having to log into Chessable. So essentially I'm spending 35, 40 euros on 40 quid or whatever on the informational. But it's a one-off idea that I thought I'd had. I probably won't repeat it. But what I will do is I'll review these courses and then give them all a review in turn. Generally speaking, my reviews are slightly different than other people's reviews. I tend to find that, you know, yeah, that got a very good review actually. I think these are exaggerated because, not exaggerated, but you generally shouldn't give stuff 5 stars unless it's amazing, right? So it doesn't make sense that all these courses are like 5 stars or close to 5 stars, you know. But people they buy a course and they tend to want to give it, like, you know, like what's the average course? So think, you know, what's the average course? The average course is 2.5 stars, right? So you're either going lower or you're going higher. But people just tend to always go high. So therefore, these ratings are inflated. You know, they're generally almost always over 5. You know, almost close to 5 stars, right? That doesn't make sense to me, because that means there's no average course, right? Because the average course is like a 4.4 or something, right? You know. So that's what I would say. I would say when I review them, I'm going to review them fairly and maybe give them ranks out of 5, but then try to, you know, I probably won't give it on the thing because it's going to harm the sales. But maybe I should, because I'm trying to give a more realistic approach to Chessable. I think, you know, I've had friends say to me, "Oh, my book gets 5 out of 5 stars." Well, so it doesn't really matter, you know, because Amazon reviews and whatever, they're inflated. You know, like pretty much every chess book on Amazon seems to be 5 out of 5 stars. So what? Because it's not that they're necessarily artificially inflated. I just tend to find that readers, viewers, whatever, they tend to give like too high ratings because they're enthusiastic, they like the course, so they want to go in and give it a great review, right? Be realistic, you know. And therefore, you can actually get a better system reviews. If everything's 5 stars, then that takes away the value of what is actually a 5-star course, what is actually a 5-star video or whatever. You know, it reduces the value because there's too many that are 4 or 5 stars. That's the point I'm trying to make. Anyway, so that's the video. Leave your comments down below. What do you think? Do you think I should just focus on buying chess books in future? That's what I think I should do, really, because I think as far as Chessable is concerned, I'm probably not going to bother to do the move trader that much. It's going to be more about the informational. Can you just buy the informational by itself? That's the other question. But I will do a proper review of that TOF course. I probably will try and buy one of the Camille Plitzers later. Yeah, when I got a bit more money. Maybe later in the year, because I've really maxed out the credit card recently. But I'll try and buy one with a video that's where it's more expensive at some point later on in my life. Maybe when I won the lottery. Anyway, leave your comments down below. What do you think about the courses on Chessable? You know, like I say, keep coming with recommendations. If you've got a good recommendation, let me know. You know, I also thought about buying one from the Gukesh trainer as well, because he gets good reviews. Polish guy, right? That was another one that I thought about. Anyway, yeah, there's a lot of women doing courses. I don't know, maybe they're promoting the women at the moment because it was like Women's Chess Day yesterday, right? Seems to be a lot of women doing courses that on the front page. But my course has not got a review yet, so please leave a review of my course.